We have seen this scenario happen again and again in our neighborhoods. Narayan and Asha, names changed for their privacy, were all set to retire after 4 decades of hard work. Having married off their son and daughter almost a decade back, they had well planned almost everything about their retired life, including a nest egg for their further lives. Narayan retires first, with Asha all set to follow suit the next year. And then disaster strikes. Narayan coughs up blood one fine day after his evening walk, is rushed to one of the best hospitals where the diagnosis is swift and the prognosis damning. Despite remaining a non-smoker ever since his college days, it is stage 3 lung cancer with barely 50% survival chance, even with chemo and radiation. Still, the family rallies together, pools their resources, and treatment begins. Soon the nest egg they created for a comfortable retired life without depending on anyone is gone. Despite spending more than 30 lakhs on Narayan's treatments within 6 months, his situation becomes worse by the day, and one fine day his oncologist passes the verdict. The cancer has metastasized, and now nothing more remains to be done except giving him palliative care before his inevitable and untimely death in his early 60s. It is not only the loss of an invaluable human life that is at stake here. Those whom he leaves behind are hit by the triple whammy of his death, end of his salary or pension, and the vaporization of the family's savings, and possibly an accumulation of high-cost debt taken in an emergency manner to meet the cost of his treatment. Indeed, a middle-class family is just a hospital bill away from poverty, thanks to the rising costs of modern reactionary healthcare. While cases like that of Narayan are about shortened lifespans, at the other end of the spectrum is the equally challenging issue of longer lifespan or longevity, but with shorter health span or healthy years. More people these days are getting their lifespan extended by medicines, but their productivity is going down. Cognitive faculties are becoming weaker, and there is immense suffering in old age. The world is already suffering from it, whereas India still has a window of opportunity to address this emerging trouble. The average age of India is still below 30 years, and if we start giving more priority to preventive wellness, we will have a healthy aged population post-2050s, long after our so-called demographic dividend has disappeared. This is especially true as lack of diseases leads to higher performance by the workforce, leading to better productivity and higher prosperity for all. Today it is proven beyond doubt that diseases are multifactorial. There are genetic roots for almost all non-communicable diseases like cancer, diabetes, hypertension, heart attack, stroke, and so on. And there are also metabolic and lifestyle factors that trigger such genetic coding. So Narayan must have had a genetic predisposition to lung cancer, which he or Asha never knew about and so didn't care about, especially as he was a non-smoker for decades. Lifestyle-wise, also, there were no apparent red flags, as for decades he had been a reasonable eater who was able to keep his body weight more or less, and someone who went for a daily 30-minute walk with friends. But when I heard about his issue, the first thing that struck me was how he used to walk, almost only in the evenings, when the air was dense with carcinogenic pollutants from the heavy vehicular traffic throughout the day. He used to wear a mask, but that was only during the COVID years. Even with all such probabilities, one thing kept vexing me. Why do such disasters strike when people are finally starting to relax? A recent study from the US sheds light on this seemingly strange pattern. The researchers studied everything from the typical weekend colds that working people get when they relax for 2 days, to major diseases that strike many people as soon as they retire, and found that in some ironic way, the everyday stress that we face has an important role in keeping us healthy. Now, the question is, which hospital system or specialty or specialists are there to cater to such intricacies and lifestyle adjustments that are required for preventive wellness? Practically nobody, as the hands of conventional hospitals and doctors are already full with the reactionary model. It is seriously ill patients who walk in through outpatient departments or get carried or wheeled to casualty or emergency rooms. Almost nobody who is perfectly well walks into a doctor's room asking how to prevent diabetes or heart attack from happening to them in the future. The only thing that remotely resembles preventive wellness in India is the executive health checkup funded by corporate companies for their employees and often done in corporate hospitals. But here too, the focus is on making a successful diagnosis of, say, diabetes or hypertension or an arterial block, and never in preventing such things. Such diagnoses are quickly followed by prescriptions for lifelong medications or invasive therapies, which again makes things digress to the reactionary model. In the US and other such developed countries, the concept of preventive or functional medicine is starting to take hold. There are doctors who specialize in preventive wellness and are known as functional medicine specialists, but whom the mainstream medical community is yet to recognize as a significant specialty. In India so far, the functional medicine specialty is practically unknown, except for some renowned functional medicine practitioners who got trained abroad and have made a name for themselves in our country. I don't expect healthcare to remain in its business-as-usual way in the developed world or even in India. This is primarily because a never-ending flood of bona fide medical research is happening today into preventive wellness, especially on how specific lifestyle modifications in diet, exercise, nutrition, sleep, meditation, yoga, supplements and so on are helping people ward off these killer lifestyle diseases. Many back-to-basics or back-to-nature lifestyles from the good old times are also emerging as powerful new lifestyle modification paradigms. The best examples of this trend are the concepts of nature prescription and social prescription, which is basically spending 120 minutes every week walking outdoors, being with nature and friends. Secondly, technology deployment is accelerating in healthcare, so much so that today we have a separate industry for it called health tech, much like how fintech has achieved a standalone momentum from its roots in the finance and technology industries. Today, health tech encompasses such diverse fields like digitalization of genomic data, metabolomics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and even blockchain and metaverse-based applications. Driven by such factors in research and technology deployment, preventive wellness has come a long way from last decade's generic lifestyle changes like eating less, moving more, and sleeping more, to personalized lifestyle changes based on each person's genetic and metabolic makeup. When lifestyle changes are thus personalized against one's own disease risks, they become highly effective and turn epigenetic or capable of overriding even genetic predispositions to diseases. Such personalization includes personalized diets, personalized fitness programs, and even personalized medicines.